Hi everyone, and welcome back to another tutorial here on my YouTube channel. Today I'm working with some PureCure once again. This is from Teexpert and this is a Jesmonite alternative. 30-minute demold, 10:3 part ratio to water. It's water-based and it's eco-friendly. So what am I going to make today? Well, I have one of these tables. It's a little mini table and I actually need it for the corner of my living room. And I wanted to see if I could cover the base. This is a wooden base, it's raw wood, and I wanted to see if I could cover it with some of the PureCure. The intention is to do a very light white and light grey marble effect, and to start with I am just going to use one of these little Lazy Susan that I got from IKEA just so I can easily turn it around, and I'm going to place the lid top on top. What I am going to do to prepare the base is just to scuff sand it with some rough sandpaper. Clean off the debris with a microfiber and some degreasing spray. Let this dry a little, and then I have gone to my hardware store and I have got some of this plaster bonding sticky back plastic. It's a mesh, and what this will do is it will help adhere the PureCure to the base of this wooden tabletop. So the idea is to lay it down in strips, and I'm not going to go close up to the edge there. I'm going to leave that a little bit raw. Cover the entire base of this top and let it dry. So it is sticky back at the back of it, and that should be enough to hold it down. You will probably need to cut the sides off. Make sure you leave a little margin and try not to overlap. Okay, here it is all complete, and I flattened it and made sure it's stuck well down to the actual board. And so now it's time to mix up some of our PureCure. I'm going to be doing a marbling effect, so it's going to have a white base principally, and I'm going to mix in just a little bit of colouring. So I wanted to show you today a new pigment that I found when I was here buying this roll from the plaster section. It's a pigment, a synthetic pigment. It's for plaster, it's for sort of joints, etc., cement. This one's black, and you don't need much. It's very, very concentrated, so I'll show you how this works. Now, if I'm totally honest with you, I don't know how much I'm going to need, so I may make up a little bit extra because I want to do this in one go. So if I have any leftovers, I'm going to go and get some molds ready that I can pour into and use those up instead. Before I do that, I'm just going to cover the entire sides with some painter's tape. I'm not going to go up too high. It's just to stop any runoff on the sides. So I'm going to measure 300 grams of the PureCure plaster and 90 grams of water. I've got my spatula ready, my stirring stick and a whisk. I am going to mix the 90 grams of water into the 300 grams of PureCure. I'm going to start to, and hopefully I'll have enough. Mix well with the stick, then just get into the corners and make sure that there are no lumps hiding there. You have about 10 minutes of working time. It says on the bag there's 8 minutes of working time. That's if you put the exact amount of water to plaster ratio. If not, you can add 2 minutes if you have a little bit more water, but I think this is great. And that's nice and watery, and as I said, I'm going for a marble look, so I am going to take some of this and I'm going straight in. So I'm going to take a clean recipient and I'm going to put a tiny bit on the edge there and swirl it around. Just like that. Can you see? If I think I need some more, I'll add some more. And I think that's great, just like that. So I'm going to bring this here. I'm going to start in the middle. And I'm going to pour it in, just like that. I can keep going until it's all in. Scrape out all the rest, and another point is to make sure that your table is level. I can see that mine is not. It's all flowing down that side. So I am just going to lift this up and I'm going to turn it around. Now I could have, just by eye, I could tell that I could have done a little bit more. So if this doesn't work, I can always do a top layer on it, which I might do. Get it around the edges there. And get it around there. Whoops. So then I'm just going to go into the corners and push it in. So I do want all of the corners to be covered. I can also do that with my spatula. So go in there and push it in. Turn this around, make sure there's any other areas that need doing. I think here needs some. And then there are some lumps here, and that's probably from my measuring jug. So don't panic, just take them out. And there I've got quite a nice base on that. Yeah, I could have done with maybe a little bit extra. Maybe 350 would have done. 350 grams of the powder. But it's okay, it's going to be good. Going to put it all the way around there. And then if you want any more marbling effect, what you could do is you could take your little stick like this, and I'm just going to add it here like that, and I'm going to go around and just marble it just like that. And of course, if you didn't like the effect that you got, you can always do one more layer. There are some areas in which the net from underneath is showing. And at this point, just play around a little bit with the pattern. And then you'll have to wait 30 minutes for this to dry. Just before it dries completely, I'm going to take off the sides so that I can get a little dome effect around the edge. Going to just smooth it over with my finger, starting to get a little tacky, and then we can let it set. Okay, this has now had half an hour done. I like the effect. I'm not going to do any more to it. If you didn't, as I said before, you could do a second layer, maybe a thinner layer, and just go over the top. But I am going to use some very fine sandpaper. I have 2500 grit here. I'm going to spray the surface and make it nice and smooth. There are some areas that have risen up and some areas that are a little bit that are not flat. I'm also going to just round the edges a little bit like this so that they're nice and domed. And I will be covering this in a layer of varnish. For the varnish, I am going to be using some of this transparent clear varnish. It's water-based as well. I am using one of these. I get them from Amazon. They're like a little sponge. It leaves a really nice smooth surface without any brush marks. Mix the tin. It's always important to do that. Okay, then I am going to just dip in a little and I'm going to slide it over once. Not going to go back and forward too many times, but just back and forward until it gives a nice sheen. Also going to go around the edges, and I've purposely left the wood effect on the edges. For me, it matches my decor. So here's the final result up close. Just let the varnish dry a good day at least, and then you're good to go. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I'll see you in the next one, and I wish you a good week. Take care, everyone. Bye.